Halo Season 1, Episode 5, title Wrecking, and this episode is absolutely amazing. Maybe I'm saying that because I just finished watching the episode, and I just finished watching that 10-minute action sequence that was absolutely incredible, and not just because it's the type of action sequence on a TV show where you start questioning, do they have any money left? Because I think they maybe just went out of their budget. It's not just because you got cool shots and great action and great like hero moments with Master Chief and him doing all the cool, Master Chief things that you probably want Master Chief to do, but at the same time, you have narrative moments. And it's kind of all kind of running down to, like, outside of the last 10 minutes, Master Chief has only, like, a wall in this episode, and that is touch the artifact and get the rest of his origin, or at least most of his origin, explained to him. And that is Dr. Halsey kidnapped him as a small child to have him become a super soldier, him becoming the Master Chief, and have him becoming 117 and the savior of mankind. Yeah, that is marked across the universe as the hope of humanity and blah 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 blah. But it's clearly shown from the other episodes, and this episode heavily is Dr. Halsey is a person who's like, I have a goal. I don't give two shits. I don't give two shits of how we're going to do it, but we're going to reach that goal. And if that means kidnapping children and, training them as soldiers, we are going to do that. As super soldiers, we are doing that. And it just shows, and it's great when Master Chief or John finds out, because in the previous episodes, John sees Dr. Halsey as a mother figure, and by the end of the episode, it seems to be that mother figure is gone. That mother figure is gone. At least the mother figure is slightly shattered of what has happened, what he has found out, and knowing that these memories are real. Like, sure, when the battle is happening, he's like, okay, forget everything. He knows his priorities. He needs to save everyone. He needs to get this artifact to the ship with no ego. I mean, the only ego he has is good ego. When now with the emotion attack, and it's quite interesting. And I wasn't as crazy with the action sequence in episode 1, but it's interesting to see this Master Chief, a Master Chief who has his emotions, out there, and is happy to just go off course and not just focus on the main objective, knowing that one of his Spartans are injured and he's going to rush out and save her. That's a very different Master Chief. He's still doing all the cool things, he's still doing all those awesome Master Chief things, but you can sense like he's doing all the same stuff, but it's different at the same time. And exploring this episode with the high ups, the military base. I keep forgetting the letters. Was it the US? The UNSR. No, the UNSC. I got it. They're like, we don't kind of like Spartans with emotion. Can you put the chip back in? And Dr. Halsey is like, you realize this is how we got here, right? And they're like, they don't care. They just want it. So, and it's kind of showing that point, showing that, like, the military and the high-ups just want, brainless drones. And then you send to humanity and you see their point of view, because it might be the fear and the unknown of what the Spartans will do. Now, the only thing I wasn't crazy about was, roll call please, the other story that's dealing with the two characters that I don't care about because I have forgotten their names, and whose stories ended in episode 2. Because in this episode, you know what their story is? A bike broke down. I handcuffed you. I'm going to go and find things. Now, the person handcuffed smashes the rock and knocks out the other person when they find said vehicle. That's all their story is. It's pointless. That's filler. Just cut that shit out. I mean, this episode is like 40 minutes long. Hey, fuck it. Just do Mandalorian shit. Just do a 35-minute episode. It'll be doubt. It'll be helpful. It'll be fluid. And seriously, I don't. It's a waste of screen time. Okay? It just. Yeah. And it does feel like now 6, 7, 8, and 9 are going to now have that plot moving. That, we're reaching to the goal. The origin story of Master Chief is nearly out to completion. Because here's the thing. I can see maybe episode 8 or episode 9 being that, having everything pieced together episode. But there has to be a point where you're just like, we need to stop the Covenant. And if it's not stopping the Covenant completely, we need to stop the Covenant for doing this thing. And I can think that the plot of the first game could easily, probably can be told in 2 hours, or 100 minutes, or even an hour, in fact, if it is just a simple point A to point B type thing. So if it is about the flood, if it is hinting this, if it's hinting that, you got it. Now, here's the thing, because I've been gushing about this massive battle scene at the end. I don't need scenes to blow up to excite me. Stories and characters excite me. And does it help that there's a cool action sequence at the end? Yeah, it does. But I do want the episodes to be character focused first, then action driven first, and it's showing that. The show is that. It's taking its time. And it being 9 episodes, and we're only 4 done, 4 more to go. And now it feels like we're hitting that third act, or roughly the second act. I feel confident. I'm liking the show. I'm liking the show. I know a bunch of hardcore Halo fans are not, and that's understandable. Just remember, this is the video games are the video games, and the TV show is the TV show. They're 2 separate things, 2 separate medias. Pretend this is a reboot. Pretend it's a reboot. Pretend the Halo games and the Halo lore never existed. Just pretend that never happened. Does it work on its own? For me, yes, and already I'm like, give me a season 2, and now I'm getting a season 2. So I'm kind of really looking forward to it already. Now the story is now, wrapping its pace up, and Halsey's dying. By the end of the season, Halsey is going to die, because I feel like her story is going to be completed. There will be no story left with the character. But again, this is a show whose stories ended in episode 2 of the season, and they're still handling them and using them. So there's that.